Okay, hello. Welcome to the next video in Sanctum's kind of weekly dev reports here. So for this video, I'm going to do something slightly different. While I do have the project open, I'm actually going to go in through my build, and we're actually just going to play the game as it was if it was a standalone. So I'm going to go ahead and run this and just take you guys through the whole game loop. Talk about what we added and stuff like that. Keep it on 1080, fantastic. Let's play. Change the background here, added some splash screens. Okay, so here's our cutscene. Zooming in on the walker, showing him kind of walk down this path. Show that we have a downed soldier with a weapon that we can pick up. Okay. So you can jump. Crouch, and your movement speed is a lot slower when you crouch. When you run, your movement speed is almost double. As we walk down the hall, we have some spawns. We now have this damage system from numbers fall. It's kind of a wonky spawn right now. We get white hit markers when we hit the enemy anywhere besides the head. If we hit the head, we get this kind of critical head dive, which is painted in yellow. It also gives us the numbers. So here's our door. The lights are red. The doors unlock based on whether the room is cleared or not. So we clear the room if we want. Okay, so we have time to do the room. Health bars to keep things kind of more fun. Okay, so when you die, the player kind of animates, he falls back, it says dead. The resume button is disabled, so you can't restart. And we can go back to, or I'm sorry, so you can't like continue. The restart button is up. As you can see, the UI is changed quite a bit, and I will get into that, but not quite yet. There's some more gameplay stuff I do want to show you guys. So we'll go through the cutscene one more time. I haven't decided whether I wanted to add a way to skip this or not. And I'm aware of that little bug. I need to figure out why he doesn't move the second time around when we restart the scene, but okay. So some stuff that I wanted to show you. Okay. This guy can't be active, by the way. There's not even a slider on it. See how we get yellow for headshots, white for the body shot. Can't really tell, but it's saying 25, 25, 27, 25. See red? Okay, that's what I want. So it stays red until the enemies are actually dead and gone. Once they're dead and gone, of our enemies as before, but they are fixed now. So as you can see, when you start walking back to the ball, we don't have any because I'm out of ammo, I'm going to just show you a little cheat. You're not going to be able to do this later for the sake of the video. So we have our shotgun. Now, if you look right here when the game starts, there's a bar underneath the ammunition. This bar is a meter, and it's basically signifying how much ammo you have out of the total maximum amount of ammo that that weapon can have. So for example, if we picked up 100 bullets for the pistol and the pistol's maximum ammo capacity is 200, the meter would show it would be half filled. And as you shoot the weapon and reload the weapon, the meter continues to, you know, either go down or go up if you pick up ammunition. So that being said, a little room here. I'm going to add some more in. And you can see how I reloaded and it went down a bit. I'm going to go back here and deal with some of these guys. So the shotguns, I did a lot of reworking with the enemy health and variables, damage and variables. The shotgun's meant to take these guys out with one shot. Really nicely. I've been really trying to work on my shotgun to make it nicer and feel kind of cooler. The sewer's kind of spazzing out right now. It's still being worked on. Reload. So we get some really funny ragdoll physics when we shoot them again. I honestly am just going to keep it in because I think it's funny. Okay, so this room is cleared, so now you can gain access to here, which is how you get more pistol ammo. I'm still kind of working out the details for how I want the room to be. We see the section's very dark and it's still under construction. Okay, so now that you got a little idea of the gameplay, I'll show you the direction the room's in. Once this room is cleared, this big door will open. There will be another little area here that you go to before exiting. We got our planet spinning ever so slightly, if you can see that. We have impacts working across everything, which is nice. Cool. So now if I press pause, you'll notice in the game versus the editor that this works. So hitting escape instead of resume actually does hide the cursor. In the editor, I can't show you that because we would never be able to get out of our stuff. So our settings are still not here, but this still works, this still works. Resume obviously still works. So let's get into the meat. So I changed the look of my menu to make it look a little bit more science, sci-fi, fit the theme. Stretch the image out. I had this too. This is going to be a completion meter. Right now it's just full. It'll show you, when you just start, it'll start here, and then as you are almost finished the level, it'll go here, just so you have some sort of indication of how far you are and how you're doing in each level. That's the details page. If we go to the upgrade page, we have these cool little animations now between pages, just to bring some life to this menu. So let me go to the inventory page first. The inventory so far only is holding weapons, because that's all I have developed so far. But once I have keys and other things that the player can pick up, this thing will start filling out, and there'll actually be tabs here for weapons, keys, and so on and so forth. When you're in here, you can only view things that you've already picked up. So we have the knife, and it explains what the knife is. Right now I have it giving some stats. I don't know if I want to keep that or if I want to give a brief description. The reason being is because I have the stats in the upgrade menu here. So I'm not sure what I want to do, but for right now, it's just giving you the weapon stats, the damage, the range, the velocity, and the clip capacity. And you can loop through, and it's got these cool little like 3D little spinning kind of things. And this is an actual video, by the way. This is in actual 3 dimensions. And it loops too, so when you're at the end, it'll go back to the beginning. If I go to my upgrade, vitality and ability are still the same. I haven't really touched up on them yet, but my attack is pretty much finished. So you can go to the knife. The knife will always have 0 stats because it's a tool, as I mentioned here. The knife is a tool that is better used for breaking boxes than it is for killing things that infest this facility. So we don't really have any stats here for it. The pistol, however, we did pick it up so we can see it, and it gives us our stats. These right here, I've already kind of checked some off just to show you what it's going to look like, but there will be a number in each of these boxes that represents the cost, and to upgrade them, it's going to cost credits. So we'll get into that in further videos down the line. I haven't messed with that stuff or even added XP to the game yet, but the whole general concept is as you kill enemies and do things in the game, you earn experience. You can then take that experience to your main hub and either exchange that experience for credits, which you can then use to purchase upgrades for your weapons, which would be here. Or you can keep that experience and upgrade and get some upgrades to say your your abilities, so some life steal, shield core, second wind, and this kind of stuff. Okay, so credits for weapons, experience for everything else. If we click on something that we haven't picked up yet, it'll just zero out to like we don't know what they are. I'm just going to cycle through everything just to show you what it looks like. Our rifle, our LMG, our grenade launcher, and our bolt gun. These are all the weapons in the game. Okay, cool. Tutorial has not been filled out yet, as I keep telling everyone that I will add that at towards the end of the game when everything's done. Okay, so let's resume. So because this is the main game, I'm going to exit back to the main menu. Okay, beautiful. So once this is done, I will I'll exit out of the game and I'll hop into some of the code just to show you some stuff that I've been doing. I'm not going to open up any of my enemy or weapon scripts because it was a lot of just variable changing and small things that was very tedious but needs to be done. It doesn't make sense to kind of show you changing numbers. Okay, so let's exit the desktop. Cool. Okay, so here's our game. I will go to my building 2 screen layout. And there's one more thing I would like to show you guys. So in my game scene, if I open up prototype, while that's opening, I can bring this down and show you guys some stuff. So where are you? Inventory. Oh, okay, so inventory menu. This needs to be dragged into UI scripts. So let's do that now. Okay. Okay, so the inventory, the way I'm handling the inventory right now is I created this struct called weapon info, and it holds the stats of the weapons. And basically I have a reference to the player's weapons, just so I have reference to their scripts, like the pistol script and so on and so forth. And I essentially am looping through which weapons the player currently has active. If any of them are active, I set the corresponding weapon. I have an array called equipped weapons, and I set that. It's a boolean array, and I set their corresponding indexes to either true or false, whether that weapon is active or not. This way, we can kind of keep track of what weapons we have available to us. Here, I'm constantly updating my details box, which is this is still a bit frozen, so let it load in. The details box is in the inventory. It was right next to that little video image, kind of saying like, oh, the knife is a tool, that blah 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 blah. That's the details box. I want that to be constantly updated, and it's updated depending on what weapon index that we're currently on. Weapon index always starts with the knife, and then depending on whether we click next or click last, it'll update the weapon index, and it'll play the appropriate corresponding video for that weapon index, and also it'll fill out the details. So as you can see here, if details and damage is equal to 0 for everything, that means that we're at the knife, because the knife doesn't have a weapons base, which is what I'm doing here to gather. Like I fill out this details object that we created all the way up here, the struct, and I'm filling it out based on the current weapon index's information. So it calls the base class, which is weapon, to get the damage, the range, the speed, and the max clip. However, knife is not a weapon in my game, at least, and it doesn't have any of these kind of variables, except for maybe damage, I guess, but it doesn't, speed and range and clip, none of that stuff make any sense for a knife to have. So if it's zeroed out, we know that we're at the knife, so I just kind of spit this knife message out. Else, it'll go in and give us the right variables. And we know they're the right variables because before I'm doing these two checks, I create this details object, and I'm setting it to get weapon details. So it goes in and it grabs the details and says, hey, if we're not at 0, do this. If we are at 0, zero everything out because we're at the knife, and then return it. So yes, just some changes with speed. Like I said, a lot of different stuff. Button B, audio button, click add listener. Okay, so this is, I don't even want to talk about these because these are going to be changed later. So yeah, I'm not going to dive too much into my scripts this time around, like I usually do. And the main reason, I guess I can show you this one. This is the only other one. Pop-up damage, play anim. Oh, take damage. Okay, so here's one I guess I can show you because it was changed a lot. This will be the last one I show you guys. So take damage. Take damage was applied on all of the joints, not the joints, all of the limbs of the enemies. So like their arms, legs, head, chest, pelvis, everything that can be shot at. And when it's shot at, before it was updating, they had like a canvas attached to them in world space, which was wrong because the numbers were facing all different directions. It didn't look good either. So in lieu of that, what we're doing now is everything's still the same. It's still, the blood's still going and all that stuff. I'm just changing, I changed the stuff here. So before these were different, and I also added this create pop-up. So in my prefabs, if I go to UI prefabs, let me see how I'm doing on time. 19, not bad. I'll go to my UI prefabs, and I'll pull up my damage pop-up. Yeah, so right now you can see it's got this wonky text. It just goes right up on our canvas. That can be changed whenever. Honestly, I can change it like right now. Back to this. Now it'll be normal. all this does is it instantiates that prefab that I just showed you guys, and it puts it in the middle of the screen, and then I have an animation for it that I created that basically, if you look at my cursor right here, it'll go up and then down. So if it starts on this line, it'll go up a little and then down. And then as it's going down, the alpha also fades to transparent, fully transparent. Yeah, I parent it under the HUD canvas. We only want to call this game object at find once because it's expensive and slow. So yeah, that was, I guess, the major changes. Everything else, like I said, was a lot of just variable changing, tweaking, adjusting. I'm kind of focusing on the fun factors. I expand my first level and make things look a bit nicer here, and play better and actually feel like a fun game rather than a robotic kind of set of instructions that everything's following. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and exit out, and thank you guys for listening. I will have some more stuff next week accomplished. It'll probably be more enemy stuff and spawning stuff. I'm gonna work on getting that room done as well. It'll probably be done by next video. So just keep tuned, and I will see you guys in 1 week. Thanks for listening.